Welcome back, mutants. Time for the director's ongoing commentary for C for Chaos. You can just cue this video up with the start of Episode 5. Episode 5, C for Chaos, the adventure begins! Sorry for the short hiatus. We had to have a little summer break, if you will. It's been, I believe this episode was uploaded on February 10th. It's now April 15th, so it's been a good 2 months since we uploaded this. We missed a good bit, a few episodes there for you, so we're going to try to get those things back on track now. We had to finish up post-production work on both Buddy Row and Mutisha's Movie Morgue in time to premiere them both at the Mad Monster Party. That all went well. Now we're finished with that and we're back on track. And I just talked through an opening shot of Nicole Cimperley there posing as an art model, and that's the number one reason why I'm in film today. The number one reason why I got into art was because once I learned that you could draw naked girls, that was a wrap. It was like, sign me up. I'll go to class and draw naked women. I'm down with that. Flip side, you have to draw naked guys sometimes too, so that might appeal to some of you though, so there you go. I'm actually just about to do, sorry for checking my messages there, but I'm about to launch into the next episode of MVP Mutant Radio to review Captain America Winter Soldier, so I've got to keep an eye on my messages, make sure people aren't waiting on me. All this scene is shot in the old Comics Conspiracy comic shop. I don't know. One of the last episodes I told the backstory of how I almost got in a fight with the guy that took over the shop. And that was kind of sad. I didn't tell the whole story because my girlfriend at the time, now my ex-girlfriend, was there with me, and she worked at the shop, and she used to complain every day about him smoking in the comic shop. And she has like this kind of allergic reaction, so it would give her like these migraine headaches. So when I started talking junk to him about smoking in the shop, there was like more than one reason, behind it. It wasn't just I was a maniac because he was smoking over my collectible comic books, but sometimes that's what those are the ends we have to go to. But she was actually there when he belly bumped me, and I took off my glasses because I gave my glasses to her, and I said, this is a wrap. And she just starts crying, and she's bawling, and I told him, I said, come back at me again. I have my war face on. It's so stupid. I'm talking about all this at a comic book shop. And she was just crying. He turned around and walked off, and I had to deal with her crying for like another 2 hours about the whole thing. I was like, why are you crying for him? He's the bad guy, not me. Life is crazy like that. Okay, this is funny behind the scenes. You can tell that Adriana, our lovely actress, Adriana Munoz, who's playing Bianca there, or Emma actually, has never held a pencil in her life. The way she's holding that thing, like it's a knife spreading butter or something. I don't know. Very, very bad. Ronnie Cruz brought a touch of verisimilitude. I love to throw that word around. I probably use it too much. To his role as Coy, just because he was such a brilliant actor. And he understood the artistic philosophy that was behind Coy's words there, and he was able to translate his understanding of the arts of acting towards the arts of visual arts and expression through various medium and whatnot. And this is just a great little comedy bit here with Stephen D. Tucker and Belton Horton as Kilroy and Jimmy. And it just shows the great timing they had here. And I wish I'd have known how awesome they were. I probably would have written a much better script for them. But everybody, there's another great shot of lovely Miss Nicole Cimperley making her way out of the store. This is just fan service, guys. What can you do? But, I justified it by she was posing for another girl who was drawing her. Happens in art classes all the time. She's taking a private lesson from Coy. It's all justified in service of the plot, as Joe Bob Briggs would say. Now, here's our little B-plot love subplot going on between Art and Emma here. So this was always interesting to me. Love how she pops back in there. We had the hardest time shooting in that darn comic shop because we had to cover the doors because there's windows there. Normally those wouldn't be up. There are posters on the door, you know, like any comic book shop, but normally you would have a lot of natural light coming through from the street, from the sky and whatnot. You can see right there. It looks like they're walking out on the surface of the sun. But you know, this was our DP Gio Schwenko's idea, was to cover the windows so we'd have control over the light. And of course we got that idea from Kevin Smith, who did the same thing for Clerks when he shot Clerks. So get your inspiration where you can and learn from other people's, learn from their lessons, their mistakes, things they did right. And here's just more. This is where we really get into the main plot of The Numbers Killer, and Jimmy starts laying out a bunch of weird numbers. And I probably overwrote this section, but I just wanted his character to just start giving these events more significance than they had gotten up to this point. Everything you've seen pretty much until they walk around the counter to specifically talk about the Numbers Killer is all character development. It's just, I'm trying to give these characters enough time on screen to give the audience a chance to learn their personalities, to be invested in this as it goes forward, you know, so that you'll either start rooting for certain characters like Art and maybe Kilroy, and you'll start wanting other characters to die. You'll start rooting for them to get killed off, like Jimmy or what have you. So, you know, to me, that's part of the fun of the slasher elements of this film. As you can tell from the intro with that awesome opening narration by Martin Bowes of Attrition. Visit those guys at attrition.co.uk. You can tell by that opening narration that has that fake pseudo Lovecraftian ripoff intro, you know, they are coming. And the whole thing points towards, you know, eldritch horror and whatnot. So, you know, C for Chaos, I thought when I was writing it, and the whole time we were making it, you know, that I was never going to make another movie. That was like, this is my only chance to make anything. So I've just got to put a lot of stuff into it that I find cool, and pretty much everything that I love, and that encompasses comic books, you know, that deals with slasher films, you know, pretty girls, of course. There's a lot of talk about art and whatnot, but I do try to balance it out. See, that's what I love about this genre of filmmaking, just this kind of anything goes, low budget, almost exploitation level. I mean, it's just because you can put any element into it that you want to exploit, and you can rub it up against, you know, a more pretentious moment where you have a character talking about art and whatnot. And in that, you know, I talked over that whole sequence, but in that opening exchange where Art is giving instruction to Bianca, he's actually laying out one of the themes to C for Chaos. And you'll see that kind of, that motif, that line motif repeated throughout in that first line, and it's all a parallel towards the pursuit of self-expression, finding truth of oneself, one's purpose, one's being, whether it's art, living life, love, what have you. To me, that's what art should be about. We should pursue those nobler pursuits. And of course, along the way, we enjoy other pursuits, such as lovely women, although there are none on screen, though Belton Horton is a very lovely individual, especially looking into his mouth here. He had a lot of fun with the character of Jimmy. You can see there he almost stumbled on his words, but that was just great acting, because he wanted to throw in like a little curse word or something there, but the character of Jimmy never curses, so you know, Belton always had to stop short when he found himself about to break that particular rule. So this is fun stuff. I'm not sure why we gave Steve this car wash brush, just to give him a chance to do something. We should have let him fix the books and on the shelf or something, you know, giving him something else to do that's more comic book shop related. But I think the idea was that he was supposed to be sweeping. I think it actually even says that in the script, and that's probably how we wound up with that brush. You know, it's just, this is the only broom that we have, let's use it. So he just carried that darn thing around. Man, I got sick of it. And plus you have to start thinking about continuity, and that whole counter there was all continuity. Yeah, here we flip the 180 for one of the first times, and you see the opposite wall of the comic book shop. I wish we'd have shot more of it and just stayed more intimate in the shop and just showed more of it. But that scene was literally the first scene I ever shot, the first thing that my DP ever shot with me. And it was hard. It had a lot of characters involved. I think it was like some 14 major characters, and introduced all the main players of the movie and all the, quote unquote teen victims, the kids that are going to get killed and whatnot. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't think I ever did justice in terms of filming, that I ever did justice to the actual building itself, the Commons Conspiracy. I think we did a lot of justice to its spirit, certainly, because this movie, this web series, embodies that artistic spirit, that anything goes, that just get up, go get 'em, anything is possible. And as we close out this segment with these lovely, lovely titles, I'll just say, yeah, that's actually one of the themes of the opening of the film, is that I wanted it to parallel some of the superhero generations. What are they called? The initial one was the Golden Age, then we had the Silver Age, then we had the Dark Age, then we had kind of a redundant Dark Age, and we're currently in the middle of a Diamond Age. So as we move through the acts of the film, they are colored by the ages of superheroes. So, something to think about in the subtext. This is Strebo. I'll see you next time. Find me at www.newtonville.com.